movie for a good life. I'm gonna, let you know. My sound is not working. That's bad. That's amazing. So my sound does not work. What's going on? Hang on. I'm gonna figure this one out. That is so weird. MacBook, Eingabe. So can you hear? No, you can't hear me. It's better? Can you? Okay. Everyone who's watching this, there are 4 people. Okay. Okay, so you couldn't hear my dance. It was Prince. Okay, so you can hear me loud and clear. So it was probably because I was, I don't know, using YouTube. Anyway, so I was using Prince to warm myself up. And I was just at my favorite coffee shop this morning, and I talked to my barista. And we talked about all the people we wish we would have seen live. And I really wish I would have seen Prince live, and I would have seen Queen live. I never got the chance to see them. So big regret on my part, but I've seen Bruce Springsteen, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Tina Turner, Elton John, because I just love big rock concerts, or like pop concerts, I should say. So let's dive into this week's Q&A. And I have my notes right here. And we're going to talk about a couple of things, and they all somehow tie into each other. So it's going to be like a merging of things. But the topics are, I'm losing my breath. Someone emailed me and saying, I'm losing my breath. What can I do? Then I am freezing when something unexpected happens. You know, we all know this. Most of us know this. Something unexpected happens and we go, okay, what am I going to do now? So I'm going to talk about this. Then, I love this one. I talk fast and I forget what I want to say. Yeah, so we're moving into rambling and what actually happens when we ramble and how we can stop rambling. And then, also interesting, I had a bad experience as a teenager and I'm afraid it's going to happen again. So no one walked in. So there was a sound by the door. So we're going to talk about these things, and if you have any questions or comments, I'm going to keep monitoring the chat, and I'm going to respond to the questions and comments as well. I'm just so happy that you can hear me. All right, so losing my breath. So oftentimes, or all the time when I teach, I talk about the breath as being the foundation of all communication, because the breath is inspiration. And in the moment where I start to hold my breath, when I stress myself, you know, I get afraid, I'm afraid things don't go according to plan, I hold my breath And then I get very heady, and then I lose all kind of spontaneity and all joy in speaking. So here's what you can do. First thing you always have to do is, whether you're standing or sitting, I'm just going to adjust my camera here, is you have to find your grounding. So I'm standing right now. So I really have the feeling of I'm connected to the floor. I'm being held by the floor. And it always sounds a little bit hooky spooky, you're being held by the floor, but it's true. So the earth is not going to open up and you're not going to disappear when you speak. So have the feeling that there are roots coming out of the soles of your feet, and those roots anchor you to the, like anchor you with the earth. It's almost like they go to the center of the earth. So you're really supported, and your whole structure, your whole body can rest on your feet, supported by the floor. So that's the first thing. And you can do the same thing sitting, by the way. So when you're sitting, it's your sit bones, right? So your sit bones are connected to your chair is connected to the floor. Second thing is find your uprightness. Find your, in a way, your connection to the heavens. It gets even spookier now. But find a connection to the heavens. So in speaking, in presence work, we always work in two directions. Grounding down, being connected up. I always say you are like the sandwich between heaven and earth and heaven, when you communicate. So now you are relaxed. And now you have to find the relaxed breath. You can, make sure you can see me. And when you find your ribs, I just want to quickly explain to you how the breath works. You know, this is the diaphragm. And the diaphragm cuts your body into two halves. When you inhale, the diaphragm goes down and your belly goes out. So what you need to find is, or rather, when you get nervous, you start to hold your breath, and then you're speaking on this held breath. And this creates a lot of tension in your body and in your mind. So now you go, oh my God, I'm feeling nervous. I lose my breath. And then you pull it up here even more. And then you pull it up even more. And then you speak even faster because you don't have any air. You know, and it's very stressful for the body. So what you need to do is you need to really ground yourself, connect yourself up. You know, there's the string coming out of the top of your head, going up. And you find your inner smile, you let go of your belly, and you just allow the breath to drop in. You don't have to work the breath. The breath knows what to do. So it's, I speak, speak, speak. You know, now I'm done. I inhale and I speak, 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 speak. And I inhale. So speaking requires I would say a certain calmness. It requires the calmness and the confidence for you to take up space. If you are afraid to take up space, you will shrink. You know, you will make yourself small inside. And then your body gets tense, and then you will lose your breath because your belly is probably very tight in that moment. But you let go of your belly. Allow the breath to drop in. Take up space vocally. It is so important. If you're afraid to take up space, if you're afraid that your words really land and make an impact, then you're going to lose your breath. And breath inhalation is inspiration. It's so anchored beautifully in the language. So that is what happens when you lose your breath. You get tense. Your breath can't move in your body. You don't take up space, and then you pull the breath up, and then you breathe really shallow. And sometimes I've noticed this with my clients is you have this really short breath, but you have all these thoughts and ideas. So you speak fast and you cram all your thoughts onto this very short breath. So it's all about taking up space. Okay, so this is what happens when you lose your breath. Second thing, and it ties beautifully into the first thing, I freeze when something unexpected happens. Or when someone, I think she said, when someone asks an unexpected question. So there are a couple of things in there for me. First is that oftentimes we try to control the room. We try to make sure everything is going according to plan when we go live, when we step on stage, like me. I was like, I'm gonna just dance and I'm gonna have some you listen to Prince and it's gonna be such a great beginning. I was so happy, and someone said, sorry, but I can't hear you. There's no sound. Kind of unexpected. So the thing is, I can just freeze and go, oh my God, it didn't go according to plan. Or I can just respond to what's happening, because it's not a bad thing. That it just is. It just is. Something happened. Someone couldn't hear me. Someone is asking a question that I didn't expect. You don't, the big art of speaking is to really respond to what's happening. Don't control what's happened, what's happening. We can't do that anyway. So ground yourself, breathe, and the ball, the verbal ball someone is throwing at you, take it, play with it, juggle it, and then just put it to the side. And that's it. The more we try to make sure things go according to plan, the less, in a way, fluidity we have. And the more we hold our breath. So this is where the breath comes in. The question comes, and I hold my breath and I get really tense. And now I don't know what to do. Exhale. And just, thank you, great question. I'm going to answer that afterwards. Or, oh, I'm so happy you're asking these questions. So let me give you my thoughts. There are a million ways to respond. Even when you lose your train of thought. I just lost my train of thought. Where was I? What was the last thing I said? The world doesn't go down. The world, after we made a mistake in speaking, it's the same. And that's the beauty of, I think, everything. So unexpected is not bad. It means you didn't plan for it, and that's okay. Things happen. That's life. That's beautiful. I talk fast. So any questions you're having, let me know in the chat. Any comments? So I talk fast and I forget what I want to say. And I just had a discussion with someone yesterday. So Swapna, this is for you and your husband. We need to slow down and pause. If we don't slow down and pause, there are two things are happening. I can follow myself and the audience can follow me. So the faster I am, the harder it is to kind of keep up with myself. Someone is sprinting like a Porsche driving by, my German side. Like a Porsche, like at 300 kilometers an hour driving by, that's, I'm like, what was that? Whoa. That's what happens. And we can't grasp it. We don't even know what it was. Something just kind of drove by really quickly. And the same happens in speaking. So when you are really fast, of course you forget what you want to say because you lose the present moment. You lose yourself. You're getting ahead of yourself. So you're getting ahead of yourself, and then you notice you lose your train of thought, and then you kind of go back to the past and go, what did I just say? And then we move into this whole thing of I suck, people will hate me, I'm going to end up homeless under a bridge, and we lose the present moment. So you need to slow down and you need to make pauses. It is so incredibly crucial. Give yourself, and again, it all ties into each other, give yourself space. If you don't give yourself space, how will you bring your audience in? There's no way. They're going to be busy trying to understand what you just said, while you are busy trying to understand what you just said yourself, while you're beating yourself up because you don't even know what you're saying. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. It's, again, breathe, ground yourself, It's like speaking is like this invitation. I invite you into my world. And the more I'm able to do that, the more people will buy from you. The more people will want to work with you. The more people will remember you. Because speaking becomes this intentional thing. I was on a podcast a couple of days ago, and I talked about why we speak in the first place, which is, we turn information into inspiration. And I said, well, when something is really important, we don't say, let's write. We say, let's talk. And that's why, you need to be able to speak in a way where people can actually follow you. So slow down, make pauses. Really important. One of the most important things. And then again, when you are too fast, you start to ramble, and rambling is a lack of specificity. I'm just going to say it all and then take it or leave it. And then you're not intentional anymore. So that's that. And then I had a bad experience as a teenager, and I'm afraid it'll happen again. So we are, unfortunately, one-time learners. One bad thing happens, and now we make that our reality. And I think it's really important to look at how realistic is it that this is going to happen again. Oftentimes when I work with someone, they say, I'm so afraid someone is going to ask the bad question. I'm so afraid someone is going to say something that's going to throw me off. And I said, well, how often has it happened? And then they usually say, never. So this never, we create all these stories in our heads, in our minds, why we can't speak or why speaking is scary. So something has just happened once. Don't give that one experience the power over you. Make a decision. The tiny steps. Okay, it has happened once. I'm afraid. That's okay. We're all afraid at a certain level. That's okay. I'm afraid. Now, can I still do the live? I'm feeling all the feels. I'm feeling all the feels. That's okay. I can still press the live button because the experience, that's been 10 years ago. It's not in the present moment. So really, I was talking to my business coach about this as well yesterday. We can allow ourselves to give in to the fear, or we can acknowledge the fear and take all the tools we have and do the thing anyway. Don't sabotage your business, don't sabotage your life because someone 10 years ago did something because they, were hungry, were thirsty, were tired. Who knows why people do things, right? And in general, people really are good. People are inherently good and want you to succeed. Don't let that one dick determine your life. Pardon the language. All right. So, any questions, any comments you're having, let me know in the chat. And you can click that little link that Restream gives you, and then I can see your names. Right now I can't see the names, I just see Facebook user. Okay. And I also noticed I'm not just streaming to the group, I'm also streaming to my personal profile. That's funny. All right. So, okay. No comments, no questions. But the big but. No, I want to invite you to our fundraiser / dance party / movement session on April 9th. So I've been talking about this dance party movement session for quite a while now, and I decided to turn it into a fundraiser for the Ukraine. And Teresa, who is an amazing, amazing movement artist, she's going to lead the session. And we will show you in that 60-minute session how to use movement and dance and music to create space for you to show up and to be present on stage, to really find the courage for maybe difficult communication, difficult talks. So again, there's going to be movement, dance, it's going to be deep and fun and light, and all proceeds go to NGOs to help evacuate Ukrainians from the war zone. And we, by the way, we had a long discussion if it's okay to call it a dance party. When it's tied to a cause that's linked to a war. And we decided then to rename it to a movement session. And then the next day, I'm reading this article by Dieter, who's also in this group and who's an amazing coach. That it's okay to feel all the feels, to go, oh my God, there's a war and I'm afraid and I don't know what to happen. And yet I'm excited about my weekend plans. So allowing ourselves to feel everything that's going on right now. So the movement session on April 9th is fun. It's at the same time deep. And I encourage you to come. So it's $27 US. It's like, this is nothing. It's going to go up a little bit on April 4th, I think. I'm not sure. April 4th. And I'm going to put the link in the comments as well. So really, let's end. There's going to be sound. There's going to be sound this time. I promise. I'm going to watch this video back. I'm going to see myself dance on mute. I'm going to laugh. All right. My loved ones, I am going to head out now and pick up the kids. Any questions, any comments you're having, let me know. Anything that didn't make sense, let me know as well. And speak up. Find your voices. Take up space. Voices are amazing. Speaking is amazing. And you cannot be a good leader without also being a good speaker. Strong speaking skills are no longer optional to make the sale, to grow your influence, to grow your business. So let me know what you think. I love you. And I will talk to you real soon. Bye for now. I'm ending the stream now, and who knows what's going to happen.